Hello YouTube, it's Snowflarky Zemos, and I just finished recording my Lord of the Red Blue Eyes deck profile. And after I did that, I kind of had an idea. This video is a little different. I had an idea. Lord of the Red is one of many number of Blue Eyes variants I play for, just a really silly, fun, laid-back, casual dueling environment. And as I mentioned, Blue Eyes is a great way to play lots of kind of fun cards you know, in just like silly lower power builds. Not that Blue Eyes is a high power deck, but even lower power than standard Blue Eyes, just like in my Lord of the Red profile. And I kind of wanted to talk about some other variants of this deck that I play, just other fun things that I've found I've been able to bring to life with the help of Blue Eyes as, an engine, as a card. Just lots of fun stuff here. So I got three that I wanted to highlight, probably three of my favorites, which include Berserk Dragon, Cosmo Queen, slash just pure normal, and Beast King Barbaros. So I'll go into all of these and kind of explain the synergies with Blue Eyes and essentially what kind of stuff gets subbed out for it. So first in my list of Blue Eyes variants I want to talk about and discuss is Berserk Dragon. Berserk Dragon is one of my favorite cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a child, I pulled this card from a Dark Crisis pack that came in a tin I was given for Christmas. And, I remember seeing it in the Big Five section of the anime, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then when I actually had the card, I was so excited. Now, it took me much longer to get the card that can summon it, but I'm very glad that with Blue Eyes, I have a way I can play Berserk Dragon for fun. So, for those of you who don't know, how does Berserk Dragon work? Well, so this card can only be special summoned by the effect of the spell card A Deal with Dark Ruler, which I will explain in a second. But essentially, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. All the monsters on their side of the field. And Berserk Dragon's got 3,500 attack, so that's pretty powerful. It's gonna destroy a lot of monsters, and of course, at the cost of not being able to attack directly, which, old card, it was definitely a balance on an old card. It wouldn't be needed, but you still got to play by it. And of course, at the end of each of your end phases, it loses 500 attack. So 3,500, it really grabs the purpose of a rotting dragon by being 3,500 and losing 500 attack slowly at the end of each end phase. So, a big 3,500 attack monster that you can summon and wipe a whole field with is pretty cool. And Blue Eyes allows you to play it. Now, of course, the card that we need to summon it is this card, A Deal with Dark Ruler. But in Blue Eyes, this summoning condition can be met because A Deal with Dark Ruler is a quick play spell that says you can only activate this card during a turn in which a level 8 or higher monster on your side of the field was sent to the graveyard. Well, luckily, Blue Eyes cards are just about all level 8. I mean, Blue Eyes White Dragon is, Dragon Spirit of White, Blue Eyes Alternative. So just sending one to the graveyard for, either a synchro summon or, just a tribute of some kind makes Deal with Dark Ruler live. And Deal with Dark Ruler, which I do play at 3 of when I play this deck, is not once per turn. So one Blue Eyes going to the grave can activate me 2 or 3 Deal with Dark Rulers, which could get me out multiple Berserk Dragons, which is pretty sweet. Makes it easy to just slot this card in. So essentially when I'm playing Berserk Dragon in a Blue Eyes variant, the Berserk Dragon is a 6 to 7 card, 6 to 7 card little package that needs to be thrown in. So you just throw out your 7 weakest Blue Eyes cards. Well, I'm only playing 6 because sometimes I play 7 when it's 3 Berserk Dragon, but I usually am just playing 2 Berserk Dragon, 3 Deal with Dark Ruler, and then 1 copy of Skill Drain, which already has a great synergy in a Blue Eyes deck because, they're really large attack monsters, so when you turn off effects on the field, Blue Eyes are usually the strongest things around, and of course it negates the attack loss of Berserk Dragon. So while you can't attack all monsters on your field, on the opponent's field, you still get a 3,500 attack monster, one that can now attack directly, which is pretty good. So yeah, Berserk Dragon is a very fun card to just be able to slot in to a Blue Eyes deck. It makes me very, very happy that it's possible, and definitely makes it a fun thing to casually pick up on the casual duel night. And that is it for the Berserk Dragon variant. The next variant I'd like to talk about is the Cosmo Queen, pure normal variant. This is a 8-card variant that can be slotted into a Blue Eyes deck. So, taking 8 cards out of your Blue Eyes deck and fitting this in gives, a little fun additional strategy. So starting off, it is 1 copy of Cosmo Queen. Now, this is another 8-star vanilla monster, which is great. We can use it to make Azure Silver Dragon on a synchro. It's got 2,900 attack. It's very powerful, and we can definitely get this card out pretty easily in this deck. It's a lot of fun to have. Very cool. You can turn this into a 9-card engine by adding a second Cosmo Queen, which isn't bad. You can definitely get out multiple pretty easy, and having extras for more trade-in fodder, given that it is a level 8, isn't that bad. But I'm only playing 1 because you only need 1, and you'll see in just a second. Next up on this variant, we can play a copy of Legion the Fiend Jester. It's pretty important to have spellcasters in this deck for the synergy with one of my favorite trap cards, Dark Renewal. So this card says that during your main phase, you can tribute summon a spellcaster type monster in face up attack position in addition to your normal summoner set. Pretty cool. We don't use that one often, but it also has a secondary effect that we may use, that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 spellcaster type normal monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So we'll use that to pull a Cosmo Queen out of the deck, get it into the hand for discard fodder, trade-in fodder, or the ability to summon it, which is, pretty good. Next, in this variant, we are playing 3 Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Now, this is a very powerful card in the old days of Blue Eyes. It's a level 1 tuner spellcaster that says, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, change this card to defense position and then special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So attacking Maiden gets you a Blue Eyes on the field. Pretty cool. But in this deck, we get to utilize the second effect, which says during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, except during the damage step, you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. A lot of times in old mid decks, Maiden was just used for that attack one. But in this deck, we're utilizing that second one thanks to the help of 3 copies of a favorite trap card of mine, Dark Renewal. So when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can target 1 of those monsters and 1 spellcaster type monster you control, send both to the graveyard, and then if you do, special summon a dark spellcaster type monster from your deck or graveyard. So what makes Dark Renewal so cool is that it has a really fun interaction with Maiden. So if you have Maiden and if you have Dark Renewal, you can play Maiden and set Dark Renewal. Then when your opponent summons a monster, you can flip Dark Renewal. You can target Maiden, and you can target their monster. You'll send both to the grave, but because you're targeting Maiden with Dark Renewal, you'll be able to chain Maiden's effect after Dark Renewal activates, allowing you to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then Maiden and Dark Renewal will both go to the grave, and you can summon a Cosmo Queen from the deck. And it's a fun way to, just get both of those cards out on the field. It always is very cool when I see them able to sit next to each other like that. Awesome synergy to have. Very cool, and for that reason, I like this play a lot. Um, it's very awesome. I always liked Cosmo Queen quite a bit, so it's cool to be able to see that Blue Eyes has that kind of interaction for things you can do. Now, of course, with Cosmo Queen, I mentioned that it's only those 8 cards to get it inserted, but, it can change up a lot about how you play the Blue Eyes deck. You can, after your Cosmo Queen and whatnot is set up, if you rely heavily on just the normal monsters, you can go with skill drain synergy. Make use of the fact that you're not going to care as much as your opponent if your effects are negated. Or you can use that synergy to always make sure you have one of these vanilla monsters out on the field. And if you do, you could play lots of trap cards like Fist of the Unrivaled Tenny, which is just a solemn, essentially, for having a non-effect monster, or Champion's Vigilance, which is a solemn for having a level 7 or higher normal monster, both of which these count as. So that's pretty cool. Not that they're necessarily that good, but I'm always a huge fan of these trap cards in particular. And of course, given that they're normal monsters, we can use kind of the draw engine I showcased in the Lord of the Red deck. Flawless Perfection of the Tenny, a card I've had some fun playing with in Blue Eyes just because it makes your non-effect monsters like Cosmo Queen and Blue Eyes White Dragon unable to be affected by monster effects. And of course, it allows you to draw 2 cards when they special summon an effect monster while you control them on the field. So, yeah, that's pretty sweet. Pretty fun stuff. Yeah, so Cosmo Queen with spellcasters has a lot of fun synergies thanks to that Dark Renewal Maiden interaction. I mean, you can also use that with Magical Dimension. And, if you wanted to kind of do like a role play, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician type thing, uh, you could actually be summoning Dark Magician off of this Renewal synergy over Cosmo Queen. I just like Cosmo Queen because it's stronger. I like the art more personally, and the 8-star gives it even more synergy than Dark Magician's 7 stars. So that is my discussion about the Cosmo Queen variant. My last variant to talk about here is the Beast King Barbaros. Beast King Barbaros here is a 6-card engine I can, throw into a Blue Eyes deck in exchange for 6 other cards. Gives me a fun way to play Barbaros and some of the new stuff. Getting into it, I like to play 3 copies of Beast King Barbaros. Beast King Barbaros is an 8-star monster that you can normal summon without tributing, and its attack becomes 1900. You can also tribute summon 3 monsters for it and destroy all cards your opponent controls. Pretty cool, but you won't be using that effect. You'll definitely be using its effect of just normal summoning it for free to give you access to more rank 8 XZ's plays, which is pretty nice to have. And also, just get more bodies on board. In this version, I do like to play Skill Drain, so that normal summoning Beast King Barbaros is just an additional 3,000 attack body. And, that's pretty fun to have. So I like just being able to play Barbaros alongside Blue Eyes, show that off. And with 3 Beast King Barbaros, we're able to help facilitate the new Barbaros card we got fairly recently, King Beast Barbaros. Now what's cool about this one and Beast King Barbaros is that they're all level 8s, so you can go all in on the trade-in synergies, gladly trade in your King Barbaros, you can trade in your King Beast, but essentially King Beast Barbaros here, 3,000 attack monster that it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And then, you can only use each of the next two following effects of King Beast Barbaros once per turn. It has an effect that says you can tribute monsters whose total levels equal 8 or more to special summon this card from your hand. So that includes Beast King Barbaros, that includes Blue Eyes White Dragon, that includes Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, maybe one that's used its effect. That includes Dragon Spirit of White, plenty of cards that are 8 stars that you'll be glad to tribute for a Beast King Barbaros. They can attack all monsters your opponent controls. And then, Of course, you can banish a Barbaros monster from your graveyard or face up from the field to target 2 cards on the field and destroy it. So your Beast King Barbaros that you may have already traded in or summoned and sacked off for an XZ summon and are now in the graveyard, those are live cards for you to banish and destroy 2 cards on the field. Pretty sick. Um, Definitely a fun thing to do. Of course, if you have skill drain set up, you can't do that. You're just going to be summoning a 3000 attack King Beast. Uh, but, if you don't have skill drain set up, it is a one of, so a lot of time that won't be true. You can play King Beast Barbaros, attack, use it to board wipe your opponent's monsters, and then, of course, you can banish the Barbaros to destroy cards. It's awesome. It's pretty fun. You can play a third King Beast Barbaros if you want. It gets a little cloggy, but you do have trade-ins, so maybe it's not that bad. And after all, it is just a silly kind of for fun variant. But yeah, those are all kind of pretty fun, silly interactions. I've done with Blue Eyes before, and it definitely is one of the things that makes Blue Eyes so much fun for me to play in a casual setting is just all the different ways you can just throw other cards in for into a Blue Eyes build for just some wacky fun. Uh, it's really cool stuff. It has made Blue Eyes a long time favorite deck of mine. Um, and that's pretty much all I got to say about it. I wanted to talk about these because I'm a big fan of playing Blue Eyes this way, but the deck profiles aren't necessarily different enough to, just go over it again. You'd mostly be hearing about the same cards from the Lord of the Red deck profile for the same reasons. And for that, I want to try it in a little bit of something different where I just talk about the cards, the synergies they have with Blue Eyes, and essentially what I do with them when I want to play them for fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. If you like any of these interactions, if you think they're cool, or if there are any other Blue Eyes interactions that you are a fan of. I'd love to hear about that too and talk about them in the comments below. So let me know what you think. I'll catch you all next time. Later.